February compilation video. This will be our video where we take all of the releases for the month of February that we expect to get and present them to you in one place. If you're one of the handful of new people since we counted last, I think we're up to 65 subscribers now, which is about 10 more than we had a week and a half ago. So welcome to all the new people. One thing, I know that there is random music playing about 30 minutes into the Nuremberg Toy Fair video. I tried to pull it out using YouTube's editing tools and could not. So I've edited the original video to remove the music, which was sort of catching me using a template because I had put it into another video that clearly at some point was longer than this one, and the music was in different places, and yeah, so got caught on that one. But it's going to require me to pull that video down entirely and re-upload it. Probably do that maybe tonight, maybe tomorrow. But for anybody who did watch it and was blown out of their seats by random music, I apologize. Probably should have looked through the whole thing first to make sure there was no extraneous music in it, but I didn't think that the template I was using had been used for that long of a video before. At any rate, like I said, we'll cover stuff for February. Two things about March real quick. We'll do our regular video Friday for the stash report, and we'll cover in-depth all the newer kit releases and spot runs that we have coming out in March and April. But for March itself, and I know this is a kit that interests a lot of people, the Mercedes-Benz 300 SL has been announced for pre-order for late March delivery. HobbyLink Japan, Hobby Search are your two prime places you want to go get that. Right now at HobbyLink Japan, with the discount they're giving off the MSRP and the favorable exchange rate, we're getting dollar to yen. The kit is costing like $28.57. It's going to be $71 U.S. retail at your hobby shop. Folks, if you've ever wanted to buy a Tamiya kit, and you're interested in the range into supercars, and this is something that has sort of tickled your fancy, and you've never ordered from HobbyLink Japan or Hobby Search before, this is your opportunity to go learn how to direct import kits, because $28 versus $71, yeah, if you want to spend the $71 to keep your local hobby shop in business, know that you're keeping the middleman markup in business too, because there's no way in the world your hobby guy is seeing the $50 difference there. Not even close. Also for March, this is a little piece of decal information that excites me greatly. Studio 27 is going to be doing a carbon fiber decal set for the Tamiya Porsche Carrera GT. Now, the Carrera GT is, I don't know what, a 5-year-old kid at this point, maybe 4. But it's one of those cars that is intensely carbon fiber as far as the engine compartment and the interior and stuff like that. There was at one point, and may still be, a Scale Motorsports carbon fiber template set, which, aside from SMS's issues with stale decals, where if you let their decals sit around too long, sometimes they don't work anymore. The other problem I never really liked about the SMS stuff was, it was like, here's a sheet of paper, and it has a bunch of like geometric shapes on it, and here's a sheet of decals. Now go trim these decals to match these shapes and have at it. Studio 27 doesn't do that. They present you a nice, set of decals that's already pre-cut. It's kind of hard to see through the liner, but this is the Enzo decals, and you're looking at mostly the engine compartment there, and the top of the dashboard. They're all pre-cut. There's hardly any little clear liner around anything. And, once you battle the sort of inherent stiffness that the carbon fiber decals have from Studio 27, because they're, multi-layer printing to get the effect, you need to do a little battle royale with some microsol, some microset to get them to settle, but they're, it's nothing out of the ordinary, at least to me. I've used their decals for, a year or so now, and none of them have ever been any harder to use than any of the other ones. It's not like Revell decals where they're just going to, fall apart in the water, and you're going to have to try to fish them out. They got some stiffness to them, and you're going to have to soften them up to get them to fit compound curves, but they're still the best decals out there, period. I had asked Studio 27, actually, almost a year ago in an email. This was right around the time when they were just doing stuff like the Enzo and the FXX. that if they would consider going back and doing some older kits that were carbon fiber intensive, like the Porsche Carrera GT. And they were like, well, standardized answer, we can't tell you anything, and you'll enjoy what we do in the future. I was like, oh yeah, sure, okay. And I've gotten several, a whole bunch of livery decals and a whole bunch of carbon fiber decals since then, and I've enjoyed them in the future. But this, like I said, it's going to be a February release, so if you want to get a set, you need to go pre-order a set, because they'll probably go fairly quickly, and sometimes they don't get, sometimes they're kind of hard to back order, sometimes they're not. But if you have a Porsche Carrera GT and you haven't built it yet, and you wanted to do the carbon fiber, but you didn't want to pay $40 for a set of templates, I have your solution. I think the decals are going to run about $27, $28 or so, which I realize that if you go in the right places on eBay, you could probably buy the whole kit for that. But, I think it certainly adds a necessary touch to that car, especially something like the Carrera GT that's an open top, so you can see all of the carbon fiber work you do in the interior, as opposed to some of these other kits where, you have to leave a door open to really appreciate it. So, there. That's your little look into the future for Tamiya products there. Still no word on the Alfa Romeo, but I don't think we've gotten all the spot runs out of Tamiya either. They just wanted to go ahead and open pre-orders for that Mercedes-Benz. So February, guys, notebook of knowledge. On the domestic side of things, it is a really sparingly short month. Revell has one kit coming out in February. Period. End of story. Not even any boats or planes or tanks or anything. One kit. And that is the Snap-Tight Ford Raptor SVT 4x4 pickup truck. Now, this is the full Snap-Tight kit. It's not like the 7-part build and play they're giving away at the Detroit Auto Show. It's probably going to be like 35, 40 parts, like all their Wheels of Fire Snap-Tight kits. That was supposed to come out back in, I think, September or October originally, so there are many delays for Revell in China right now, for whatever reason. A lot of people were sort of hoping it's because they're trying to improve the products rather than having some sort of factory-related delays. Some people try to blame it on the people striking out on the West Coast, which of course is irrelevant because they're not striking on the entire West Coast, and of course there is a giant canal in the middle of Panama that they can ship things through, and there's plenty of Gulf Coast and East Coast docks available. So that's your Revell, the Ford Raptor Snap-Tight kit. Round 2, you have 2 kits coming out. Polar Lights, the 1970 Dodge Charger funny car. This is going to be done as the Super Chief funny car. Now, this will just be a straight reissue of Polar Lights' 1970 Dodge Charger funny car with a different set of decals. And a lot of people were all excited about it, like, oh, they're going to do this, they're going to do it. They're not going to do anything to it. It's just a set of decals on the same existing platform. AMT has one kit coming out. They're going to be reissuing the 1969 Mercury Cougar Eliminator. It's a pretty good kit. I have built, I think, 2 or 3 of them, all told. I built 2 for myself and 1 for my mother at one point in time, of the 2 different versions, because there's like a Cougar Eliminator, and then there's another Cougar. Well, it's buried behind stuff. I can't see it, but there was one that had like I can't think what I think it was a. I should have looked up the box art, but there are 2 versions of it. One had a different engine in it. But this is going to be the Cougar Eliminator. They're adding the pad-printed tires to it like they have been doing with all these releases. There's going to be a set of optional stripe decals in 2 different colors, and there will be 2 releases of the kit. One will be molded in orange, and the other one will be molded in white. So if you're going to go buy one, there should be a sticker on the front that says molded in on whatever, or flip the box over and look at the bottom, and it'll say, other than blah, 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 this kit is molded in X. So, and be sure that, like I said, I don't want to hear anybody complaining that they got stuck with an orange one when they wanted a white one. Read. It's not that hard. And then, really, after that, it's all just stuff from Fujimi and Aoshima, because there's no Hasegawa for February, there's no Tamiya for February. So Fujimi, 3 more of the Circuit Wolf cars, those being the Lamborghini LP400, Black Panther Hama. Again, no word on whether or not this is a EM kit, the Enthusiast, or the Real Sport Curbside. The Fairlady Z432R, Mitsushimi Kunitamo is the driver on that car. This is kind of a neat kit from the sense that if it is the same kit that the last Z4 to 32 is, it has two entire engines in it. One is just a straight regular 280Z engine, and the other is the engine out of the this GTR kit. By the way, this is a Fujimi GTR kit. It actually has an engine. It's full detail. It's one of the very few ones that actually has a full detail engine in it. But it has the engine out of that generation GTR. So even if you wanted to, I don't know if you can necessarily build it as a factory stock 280Z, because I think it might have all of the 432, which was the racing version of the kit. It might have all of that front and rear fascia parts, where it's not going to be exactly a factory stock looking thing. But like I said, it's a full detail kit. It's one of the very few of those genre kits that are full detail. There's a Z432 out of Hasegawa. That is a curbside, so it's an interesting kit if you happen to want one. The other one is the villainy of mystery combination, which if you go on Hobbylink Japan calls it the villainy of atrocious combination. I'm pretty sure that's not what the kit's supposed to be called, but this is the Ferrari 512BB, which is an old 80s Ferrari, I guess, maybe even late 70s. The kit this is again another kit where it has a full engine, full detail, but it's not an enthusiast series kit like the 288 GTO kit is. It's like 115 parts, 120 parts. So I mean, it's full detail, but it's not 250 parts like the 288 GTO is. They're doing 3 kits with window masks: Evo 6, Evo 8, Volkswagen Golf, Cox Tuning House 460 or 420 SI 16 valve, and then of course reissuing the old Fujimi, I believe, actually Nito Auto Bianchi A112 A-Berth out of Aoshima. You're going to get the Initial D 86 Volume 1 Toyota Truno, the Initial D 86 Volume 37 Toyota Truno. Keep in mind the 37 is the base 86 from the original comics series. The Volume 37 is the last of those series of kits. It has the roll cage, all of the optional engine parts, everything in it. The Initial D Mazda RX-7 FC3S, the 1970 Skyline 2000 GTR 4-door PCG 10. Old, that's a best car vintage. They don't, like I said before, they don't label the Skylines with that notation, but that's what that is. Best car vintage. Nissan GTR Spec V, that's an R35. London Black Cab. Oh, I don't know why this is being reissued again. They must sell a boatload of these to people who don't know any better. That's the old IMA 122nd tooling. The Liberty Walk Ken & Mary 2014 two-door sedan. That's their two-door Skyline. The Aventador Roadster coming back out. The Aventador LP 704 Coupe with the JDM version. This is one with the more robust engine. It's not a complete engine because there's an aero panel. The chassis is aerodynamic, so it has no oil pan or bottom of an engine, but it has 16 pieces of the top of the engine. Your JZX 100 Toyota Chaser Kuni Z drift. Drift tuning. That repeated itself twice. Drift car. You're going to get the HCR 32 Skyline 4-door GTS Turbo Type M. This is the 4-door R32 Skyline, and it does come with an RB20 DET engine insert. 2010 WRX STI, 2007 WRX STI June tuning version. That's the one with the yellow box art, if you've seen these before. 4 sets of wheels. Graham Lights 57 Extreme, Volk Racing TE 37 RTs, Work Emotions CR Kawamis, and Workmeister S1s. You're also going to get the 2000 Skyline GT Turbo C210 Machine 10 from the Saibu Kitsatsu series. Last but not least, and this was the first thing we announced when the February spot run, well, this is not a spot run technically, it's a renewal package. The Copen Active Top. This is a little Daihatsu, the little itty bitty convertible. The Active Top kit hasn't been out since 2007, so it's been 8 years since this kit was last released. You can still find them on eBay because they made up a jillion of them. The really interesting thing about this kit, this is some information we just got. I was going to just put it on the stash report, but since it's part of the February releases, we'll talk about it here. They're including masking seals with this kit. Now, this will be the first time the Copens have come with masking seals. Be interesting to see if that's because of Fujimi or something they had planned to do anyway. It's also good at what they're calling a value kit. It's going to have all of the parts from all of the best car, or not the best car vintage, but the best car GT series kits. Now, there were 4 kits actually, done as R series, which is like their little tuning subset. And they were like 2 kits that had Pandora Tuning House, one that was called Eurotech, and then there was another racing version that wasn't really a racing version. It was more like a street version that looked like was done up to look like a race car. I don't think anybody actually raced the car. It had like a 80 horsepower engine in it. But the Active Top was also done at the same time they were doing, they did the 10th anniversary kit, which was the 10th anniversary of the car, which was in 2012. The car lasted from 2002 to 2012 in real life. 10th anniversary was also the last 500 of the cars they built. There was an Ultimate version 1 and an Ultimate version 2. And there was an export version, which had left-hand drive, because the car was exported to some countries in Europe and several countries like South Korea and Indonesia that drive on the correct side of the road, if you will. This is going to have all of the parts and all the decals to all of that. So you can build it as an Active Top, as an Ultimate Series 1, as an Ultimate Series 2, as a 10th anniversary, or as an export version, or mix and match that you make like a left-hand drive 10th anniversary car, which is something that didn't actually exist, but you can always claim it does because it's your model and you can do what you want to with it. So, it's a neat little thing. It's going to have, 2 or 3 sets of seats, at least 2 sets of wheels, and then, like I said, a fairly hefty decal sheet, because the Ultimate version and the Active Top version had like floor mat decals and stuff like that. So there's quite a number of decals involved in the sheet itself. Plus, like I said, they're adding the window mask to it. So kind of a neat little thing. If you're into Copens and you didn't want to spring for any particular one of them, this gives you the opportunity to sort of spring for all of them at once and then decide how you want to build it. Might actually go back and pre-order another one. I have one on pre-order because I wanted the Active Top kit because, like I said, it hasn't been made in 8 years, and they're getting kind of pricey on eBay, more than I'm willing to pay for them. So I want to see what exactly it all comes with, and then maybe I'll get a second one to do as one of the Ultimate Editions. Because the 10th anniversary, I believe, had specifically, the only thing was about it was different was it had like metal transfers, like a Tamiya kit. And I don't believe those metal transfers are actually coming with this. I think they're only putting the backup decals in. And I think you can actually still order the 10th anniversary ones online at certain places, still have them in stock. So, anyway, guys, that's what's coming in February. The one, I guess, other thing, and we'll talk about it more in depth on the staff report on Friday, is that they pulled the Tommy Ivo Showboat Dragster Revell did out of the release schedule. After we had gone to air with our January video, which was like a week into January, and they replaced it with the Jeep Wrangler Build and Play, a little 7-piece snap tight thing of the Jeep Wrangler Rubicon, and that kit was what actually came out in January for Revell, and it actually came out. I was at the hobby shop today, and it's there. So, like I said, we'll cover it more in depth Friday. But just wanted to touch on that real quick before I forget, in case I forget on Friday. So, anyway, guys, see you in a couple days on the other side.